This is how it is today on Pop Culture Minefield. This is how it is today. This is how it is today on Pop Culture Minefield.
Good morning. It's another Monday. Looky here. We have Pope Metallicus today.
Hello, guys. Good to be back.
Apparently better than you because you sound like shit.
Yeah.
He's working himself to death.
You sound like you're 10 feet away from your microphone is what I mean.
Well, that's because I kind of am.
Oh, well then. And don't tell me it's something like Marines are afraid of phallic objects.
Oh,
We know
boy.
that's not true.
Gotta make it weird.
Nope, it's always weird with the Marine Corps.
At least he didn't open with the gay clip.
I had a friend tell me, well, everybody knows that the Navy's the gayest of the branch. And I went, no. Marine Corps.
The
It's in their fucking motto.
The Navy's full of actual gay people. The Marines are just homoerotic as shit.
Very. An Army comes a close second.
Especially the combat arms guys.
Yeah, it's because like every morning, you as a squad leader, you do your squad inspection. So you see all the squad leaders going up shoulder to shoulder, doing their quick inspection up and down. And I would always whisper to my guys, "Thanks for last night." And then I would go to the next guy and not say anything. And then I go to the next guy, "Hey man, that meant a lot what you did to me last night." And they would be like what? I always love doing that shit. Oh my God, it's Monday. Monday. Who did that song? Do you guys remember?
Oh, God. If you hadn't asked me, I'd know. Good Lord. Hang on a second. I'll look it up because that's going to drive me crazy. Was that the Mamas and the Papas? No way.
It may very well have been.
Let me see. Okay, Monday.
It was Mamas and the Papas. Monday on the Dunhill label. I was faster looking it up than you were.
Yeah, you are.
1966.
Can you tell I'm the son of a DJ? I remember idiot things like that.
Right.
Yeah. You need to talk to Charlie because Charlie was a DJ, and I used to hang out with him. I got hired and fired from. I just forgot the name of the radio station in Fredericksburg, Virginia. In one day, I was hired to do a commercial. The station manager woke up and heard it for its like third or fourth play, and like, pull that, get it off the air.
Oh my God.
And I found out later, he was pretty pissed at that commercial we did, Charlie and I. And it was funny as hell. Everybody thought it was hilarious, but not the station manager. And it wasn't dirty. It was just fucking weird. And he said his problem was me. I sounded like a stoner. And I'm like, I was doing an old California dude.
Come on, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, totally. So anyway.
Right.
What the hell?
Who's all here in the chat? Let's see. We got Snorty. Emmanuel is here. Good morning from France. Andy Morrow is here in Gambit. Good morning, guys. And Sally Forth. Yay. Everybody is here. Good morning.
Good morning, one and all.
Gambit the First. Yeah, that's funny, Gambit. And is that James Bond? No, yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
It's like an anime version.
I'd watch
Pretty
that.
cool.
That looks like the legs from For Your Eyes Only.
They did some manga comics. I checked them out, and they're pretty interesting. Manga James Bond stories. And they were done. I think they were done right around the Sean Connery period. So, but good morning, everyone. I hope and of course to our dear friend Emmanuel. Bonjour, bonjour. And trying to see what studio are we in. We are in the military one. Okay, good. Always remember, even military money. We are brought to you by Backdoor Beaver. It's the only popcorn maker that has real, genuine beaver anal gland butter. It's delicious. It's Anima's favorite.
Yeah, fuck you, Gary.
And
The
this episode is also brought to you by Martin with Hair. So yay. I also did the thumbnail in well, it's black and white, but then I add a little blue to it because I kind of like the black and white that's bluish in color. No, I'm not going to play with you. I'm sorry. One of the kittens is at the door sticking her paw underneath. It's one of the kittens. I say they're kittens. They're just young, but they're so tiny. Because their mother is like one of those little tiny breeds.
Yeah.
Little tiny Egyptian style face. And boy, she got pissed this morning at her daughters. Like they were just like pestering the shit out of her. And then she went over in the corner of the bathroom while I'm in there and just laying there trying to chill. And Happy or Shahipset got a little too close. And I heard it like across her. Mom was like, "Fuck off, leave me alone." And the minute I washed my hands, opened the bathroom door, she shot out like a fucking rocket to get the fuck away from these kids. They are just driving her crazy. And it's kind of funny because she's been one of the most tolerant moms I've ever seen, just putting up with their crap constantly. And then over the last 2 weeks, she's been get the fuck away from me. And I like that. She needs to, let them know I need my personal space. Stop fucking with me.
No, that's natural instinct to prevent inbreeding. That at a certain age they chase their kids away.
I just gagged on my waffle because it has butter on it.
There you go. You're fucking people up with
See,
that
now you
ugly
have
thing.
people questioning where they're getting their butter from, bro.
Where are you getting that
Hey.
butter from?
Oh.
They have specially trained people that milk those anal glands.
Yikes, man.
Why do I have to make things fucked up? Because I'm military. That's what we do.
No, because you're a dickhead.
Military helped me become this dickhead. It
I was
really
fixing
did.
to say it puts a slant to it, no doubt.
It's like we already were. It just made us worse.
Yeah, it's like being in the military magnified all my fucked up thoughts and pretty much focused them in a way that, it kept my guys, always on their toes and laughing, always in a good mood, which was part of my job as a combat medic too. Was to keep it, medics' jobs are not just the fix the wounds and kiss your boo-boos. The combat medic's job is morale. We help maintain a healthy morale. And if we see people who are struggling, if we can't deal with it, we find somebody who can and make sure that grunt's taken care of. And you're a shitty combat medic if you're not paying attention to the psychological welfare of your soldier. We're not just checking to make sure you don't have toe jam.
Yeah, right.
And you do, especially when you're out in the field. You're checking your guys' feet, man. Always. Because, look, I'm going to tell you, grunts are idiots. And they don't know.
People think it's crazy in all these war movies when they say change your socks and all this stuff. They tell you that all the time. Yes.
If you don't check on them, they will leave your socks and boots on for days. They'll sleep in them. It's like, man, you can't do that. You will get shit between your toes. Next thing you know, you were fucking dying out in the field from fungus growing in between your toes.
Mhm.
So I don't know. Is Regis here?
No.
Oh, I saw Gambit's comment. Bonjour, Regis. Regis. However, Anima said it the first time, or Martin. And I liked it when Emmanuel corrected you guys, said, no, it's Regis. And I went, thank you, Emmanuel. Always at work. Okay. Gotcha. I want to add, how do we do that again? I kind of want to add that to the screen. I forget how to do that. Oh, there we go. Found it. Right down there by you, Pope.
Comments, yeah.
So, what are you drinking this morning, Pope?
Just water.
Just agua fria?
Yeah.
Aqua Fria.
Already had my coffee for the morning, so I'm good to go.
I'm down in mine right now. In fact, I need to take this stuff now, my ibuprofen and my allergy pills, because good grief, I woke up with my eyes puffy again. And apparently during the middle of the night, Anima, that mask that Lauren gave me slipped off like a condom in the middle of the night.
How is that even possible?
It's laying on my pillow. I ended up like sleeping on it. I don't know. And I think it's because it has so much elasticity. I think that as I roll around at night, it just pulled up off my head. So my eyes all puffy this morning when I woke up. But yesterday when I woke up, they were not, because that mask stayed on all night. But last night it came off.
So you're wearing that mask and your headset?
And answer your query, yes.
I could not sleep like that.
It's very comfortable. And I like that pressure that mask puts on my eyes at night. And
yeah, I'm too claustrophobic, I think.
I did learn, and we'll never make the same mistake again. I'm not going to sleep while listening to Call Check the Night Stalker. Because
oh man, really? Wow.
Like the first time I did it, nothing. But the last time I did it was the last time I'm going to do that, because I had some fucking wild horror dreams, and I'm like, yeah, that's
maybe not the best idea.
But still, like last night, because I'm listening to Ultraman. I sleep to Ultraman a lot, and last night I dreamt I was in a competition, and I was military age again. I was, in the military, and I was worried that my dad would miss me, like, because he was supposed to show up for our graduation thing. We're in some, it's not like real buds or anything, but it was a competition where you had to deal with water and all that shit. And so I actually, normally I hate my military dreams, but last night was kind of fun. It's just like, oh, wow. I wasn't all like, fuck, I don't want to have that dream again.
Right.
Like, oh my God, like we had to do a forced march and run in one of my dreams, and just fucking hated that dream.
Yeah, just two things that we don't look forward to.
And they put
I go to sleep
dream.
to Cops. That's what I go to sleep to. My favorite reality show. I call it Stupid People on Parade. I love it.
Yeah, they got that other show I think it's still on, and they shoot it occasionally here in Springfield area.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And it's kind of funny. Like I went to the gas station one night, and there were police there, and there was a camera team with them. And I went, oh, shooting another episode. I'm like, I do not want to be in this.
Yeah, they canceled it for a little bit during the height of the, defund the police stuff and everything, but it's back on now. It is. It's back on now. So, yeah.
Well,
it's Live PD, I think, is the name of the show, and yeah,
that's it.
They shoot it in like 6 or 7
like
different
every
cities
week.
live. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And every week you can see Springfield, and I'm like, holy shit, a lot of meth here.
Yeah.
A lot of meth. But Japanese work differently from the way Americans work. Well, the Japanese work ethic is like bizarre, and it's like unhealthy bizarre.
People
And
end themselves because they have only work, no life. It's sad.
yeah, but I will say something's interesting is that America, to my knowledge, still America is the only country in the world that when somebody asks something about you, the first thing we say is what we do for a living.
Yeah.
And other cultures are like, they talk more about their family, but not Americans. It's like, what do what do you do in your life? It's like, well, I'm an artist. And I always answer that way. That's an American way. It's not a Western way of answering. It's an American way.
No, I mean, I can just speak for Europe, but we don't give a shit what your job is. It's the least
See what I mean?
interesting thing about you.
It's the most important thing a lot of times, especially in Europe, is your family. And I think that's interesting that Americans, first thing we want to describe is what we do. Who am I? I'm an artist.
Mm-hmm.
But you also openly
Weird.
talk about how much money you make, and that's just something Europeans don't talk. No.
That's actually not cool to do.
That's not. I was fixing to say
Yeah.
we don't.
We don't do that.
The only people that do that are people that have got the fattest wallet in the world. They're the only ones that do that.
And nobody likes them anyway.
No, I've had
yeah,
students
and-
talk about that, like
don't-
tourists. Maybe it's a
don't.
touristy thing. I don't know.
Could be
Australians
tourist,
do it too.
Daryl Brewer is here, and of course our good friend Reed is here. What's up, man? Daryl, how are you doing, buddy?
Happy Monday, guys.
Happy fucking Monday.
Yeah, we were talking pregame there, me and Martin, and one thing they do show in this movie is, and I didn't realize it until I served on Johnson Island, and I met a few Japanese people. They live in such confined spaces; it would drive me nuts, man. You got to step outside to change your mind. I helped a Japanese guy move from one apartment to another on Johnson Island. And my God, man, the rooms are so damn small, but they're just comfortable as can be in there. And I'm like, wow, that would drive me nuts.
Well, when you have
Space.
110 million people on an island that size, you get used to living in a little
right.
bit of
I guess you
space.
get used to confined spaces. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's time for Japan to consider doing the San Francisco thing and building more land over the water, expanding. Because that's what a lot of people don't know that about Frisco. Frisco is like this peninsula type thing, and then they expanded it, and it's larger now because they made it larger. It's crazy, and people go, "Well, Japan's full of earthquakes." Fucking San Francisco.
I was fixing to say that's the U.S.
Yeah,
capital
don't
of
talk about that
earthquakes.
shit with me.
I was
fucking
stationed in San Francisco for 3 months at the end of my tour, and I woke up one morning and my wall locker was walking towards me. I was like, "Holy shit, what's going on here?"
Yeah, you were at
Presidio before they closed it. I was
they
there
closed Bill Clinton,
for
that
3
cocksucker.
months. Yeah,
I'm so glad Trump's. If he hasn't already, he is opening it back up.
is he really? You know what that place is? It's just a dog and pony show for generals to hang out at. They have a parade every week there. At least that's the way it used to be. It's a military retreat for people, really. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's kind of like the hotel the Army runs on Waikiki in Hawaii. I was so pissed. I'm after my year on Johnson Island, I get to spend 3 months in Hawaii waiting on orders. And that's when I ended up going to San Francisco. But a buddy of mine I had served with on Hood got the gig at the hotel on Waikiki, that sorry bastard. I was so pissed at him, man. I was like, you sorry bitch.
You still hold a grudge against him and not talk to him?
No. I talked to him, and he's a great guy and everything. But damn, I was mad at him at the time because I just spent I had been kicked off the planet for a year. I was upset, man.
Yeah, but
I'd lost my fiance and everything. I mean, it was not a fun year for me.
I will say, not every posting on Hawaii is excellent.
No.
When I was coming out of infantry school, all of our mortarmen got sent, from my class, got sent to 2-3 in Kaneohe Bay.
Okay.
And those nice green mountains out back of Honolulu?
Oh,
That's
man.
their training area. And they're humping
Wow.
an 81 millimeter mortar up there.
I don't know what Schofield Barracks is like, but I used to take the drive 40 minutes north of Honolulu to pick up guys there and take them to the air base at Hickam. So, yeah, I don't know what Schofield Barracks is like, but yeah, I know not everything is great on Hawaii for the military. But Fort Shafter's awesome. That Fort Shafter was great. It's 8 minutes from Waikiki, man. It was fantastic.
Whoa.
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 Okay.
They took the color out of it, buddy.
Yeah, but that first frame was color, and I'm
right.
like,
That's what I'm saying. They showed you the color, and then they took it out of it.
And this is how the movie is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
And in fact, not only they changed the second logo, they used the original old logo. It's in 4:3 aspect resolution.
Very cool.
We didn't have.
It's Snorty.
There we go. The Snorty is here. And also, I wanted to address this. Gary speaks truth. Only Americans obsessed with money and title ask questions like that. Exactly. Not all Americans, though. Rural folks, gotta hate that fucking word, rural. Who came up with that word, rural?
Rural.
Hey, I'm from a rural area. Like, who talks like that? But we have manners. I have manners. I grew up in the South, and
Southern
there's
gentlemen.
just some things you just don't talk about.
That's right.
And Midwest and Southerners, we frown on that shit. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? You're talking about how much money you make. Like, who gives a shit? It's nobody's business.
Yeah, it makes you sound like an elitist snob, is what it makes.
Even in New England, if you don't either grow up in one of the rich towns or the city, you don't talk about it. It's one of those like, yeah, I do all right.
It's taboo, man. It's just weird.
Yeah. Well, I work in the gambling rehab area, and look, one of the reasons why that has the gambling addiction has the highest suicide rate, and one of the reasons is it's something you're not even supposed to talk about. The money that you make and the money that you've lost. This is something that's taboo to even talk about.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. The reason I don't know about that opening color logo before transitioning to black and white is because I own the movie, but I wasn't going to pay for the black and white version. I'm like, I'll just do it myself because I know how to handle the contrast.
Right.
And so my copy of the movie is black and white from beginning to end.
Mm.
Okay.
New Yankee weapon. The dinosaur. Yeah, that's what we made during it. We're going to unleash dinosaurs. That was Hammond's fucking working for the U.S. War Department. Yeah.
I was shocked to see the monster this early in the movie. I really was. I thought they were going to have a little bit of a build-up.
Well, what they do here is they're connecting it to the original film where Godzilla started on the islands. Mm-hmm. And he would eat, and then the food wasn't there, and he started moving out away from the islands and going towards the mainland. It's wait, what does he say? It's too early for you to be this drunk, Gary.
I like what they're doing with this movie. They show you all the horror in the beginning, and World War II is just about to end. And then he goes back to his place and picks up his life, and this girl and the baby join him because she just moves in without asking him, really. And then you get to see his life getting happy and routine, and he has a job and the camaraderie with his colleagues and everything. And then the monster comes back, and you're like, damn, he's not meant to be happy. It's good storytelling.
They had told me that if you took Godzilla out of this movie, you'd still have a great post-apocalyptic Japanese drama. And I see what they're talking about now. Yeah, it's really good. The way they made you care about these people was really freaking cool in this movie. Yeah.
And Japan at this time really was a post-apocalyptic horror. I mean, everything had been burned to the ground. Obviously, Hiroshima and Nagasaki were gone. Mm-hmm. But every Japanese city was in ruins.
Yeah.
There's another word that sounds weird. Ruins.
Ruins. Yep.
I like this one. Like we released Barney on him. You know, I like me. I like me. I had a frontal lobotomy. Now I'm falling down drunk from drinking this cheap booze. Uh-oh, I puked on my shoes.
Oh, man. I like my version better. I hate him. He hates me. Let's hang Barney from a tree with a kick and a punch and a bullet through the head. Soon that purple freak is dead. Yes.
I hated Barney. I would not let my kids watch that.
Fun fact: we used to interrogate people using that song. We would just lock you in a room and put it on repeat until you.
So you basically did what they did to Daryl in The Walking Dead, right? On Easy Street, right?
Pretty much. It's just like we just lock you in a room, put that on a loop, and then when you're ready to talk, you let us know.
Right. Gambit says, and Joseph Breen was worse when he announced back in 1934 to America, the American family is wholesome. Cockeyed philosophies, ugly sex situations, cheap jokes, and dirty dialogue are not wanted.
Why are you shouting, Gambit?
Wow.
The responsible crowd don't want such vulgarities and therefore will not allow these to be shown. And Breen, as I recall, wasn't he the guy that was in charge of the Christian movement to make films wholesome again?
Yeah, I think he was, or at least he was involved with it.
Of course, this is a time when you couldn't show a man and a woman kissing, let alone alone in a bedroom. They had to have both feet on the floor, and
because we had shown husband and wives in the same bed, but during that period, man, that's when the double bed thing got started.
Mm-hmm.
You can't show them sharing the same bed as a husband and wife. And people go, well, no husband and wife sleeps in a separate. Like, I know a few that do. I've known a few.
I know people who sleep in different rooms because one of them snores so badly. If it works, why not?
My ex father and mother-in-law were like that. They slept in separate rooms.
I think that would suck myself personally.
Oh yeah.
My wife snores loud enough to wake up the whole house, and I still sleep in the same bed with her.
The Barney minus fun.
Yeah, right. Barney.
Although I could see it after, right after the war, couple sleeping in different beds, because I know a lot of guys who came back from that war had severe PTSD and they could not be touched. You ever want to? You ever want to fear for your life? Tap a combat veteran when they're asleep.
No thanks.
Watch that fucking response.
I'm across the room when I do it.
Yeah, just hook it with a stick and watch it run.
That's it.
And I'm not even a combat veteran. And my wife, when I was in the Army, would not wake me up close by, because I woke up one time and she was on the ground, her arm in a lock. I put her in an arm lock. Because, man, you get punchy just in the military in general. And I can imagine that's like 1,000 times worse for combat vets.
Well, especially in this war where you had, especially if you had guys serving in the Pacific, where the Japanese liked fighting at night.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you would hear guys get stabbed in the middle of the night.
Yep. And, I got to point out, too, because I just did some more reading on the war in the Pacific and how the Japanese were fucked. After they did some combat with Americans, they became very terrified of Americans because we didn't fuck around.
Yeah. Well, and when you're used to fighting the Chinese and all of a sudden you're facing some 6'5" farm boy from Iowa who's been throwing eggshells at his dad.
Who is absolutely no problem murdering, not just murdering you, but murdering the fuck out of you.
Yeah. Right.
It's like and especially Japanese are typically pretty small. You see that coming at you, you're like, oh, holy fuck.
Like a whole bunch of them, whole bunch of fucking Americans of around 6 foot and above.
6 foot with a rifle bigger than you with a bayonet on the end of it. Like, uh-oh.
Here's the beginning of his family. By the way, I don't know if we pointed it out or not, but this guy was a kamikaze pilot. and
that survived.
So
Yeah,
he's a
well, he
failure.
started.
He's a failure. So
He
you know,
started.
He's a coward. He's a coward.
yeah.
He couldn't, because when they're on that island, I want to go back to that scene. We don't need to physically, but I just want to talk about it because they're being attacked by the first version of Godzilla, which is like pretty big, but not gigantic yet from radiation. And basically, this thing feeds on the islands, just like in the original film. And but this one's not irradiated yet, so it's about the size of a regular T-Rex. And it tears up their fucking encampment. And their one hope of survival is for him to get back to his plane, which they repaired and fueled up. And all he has to do is fire his weapons. But he's so fucking cowardly, he won't do it. And he's in that plane, he won't pull the trigger. And it costs, I think they're all going to die anyway. And there wasn't much you could do.
Anything.
So it was a fucked up situation, and but you basically have it in your mind that this is a guy who is ashamed of himself.
Yeah, and look, his own culture's ashamed of him. I mean, the woman looks at him. If you'd have done your job, maybe my family'd still be alive. I mean,
which is bullshit because at that point they already knew that the war was lost. That's why the commander.
If you'd listened to the guy. If you'd listened to the guy on the island originally, remember when he's sitting by the sea and he sees the fish and everything, and the guy looks at him and said, "I'm not going to give you any shit." Basically, I'm paraphrasing because
it was over anyway.
Did, you know,
it would have been a useless sacrifice.
Right, but that's his excuse for them being a coward later, because he is a coward. He just doesn't pull that trigger, and he, could he have saved him? We'll never know, because
I don't think that his gun would have done anything.
He was sent to his plane to do one thing. He was ordered to do it.
Just pull the trigger.
He couldn't do it. He was too cowardly.
Yep.
And his desire for self-preservation was too high, which is something that even American soldiers, like, we frown on that. And I remember I took an oath with my best friend, Julio, when I was in the Army, and I said, because he said, hey man, if you see me turn to run, shoot me. Don't let me run. And I went, oh, okay, I'll do that for you. And if you see me, and he goes, oh yeah. And I went, I haven't even finished asking the question. He goes, no, I have no problem. I'm like, you don't know what I'm going to ask you. And he goes, you're going to ask me, and I have no problem shooting you. And I went, why are we friends?
Yeah, right. You're gonna do me in, you sorry bastard.
You've been thinking about shooting me. Anyway,
but
that was Julio.
That sense of deep shame and derision from the Japanese populace towards their army was very prevalent after the war. They saw
that's a shame.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The Japanese fought as hard as they could, but for their populace, that was not what they expected. That you were going to fight and die for the emperor, and that was it. The fact that you lost and still survived made you shameful.
Yeah, and I've never understood that
mentality, but that's the Japanese.
Yeah,
I bet you a Japanese never referred to a coward as yellow.
Probably not. No.
It's crazy.
That's my racist joke of the day.
It's almost like that. The honor thing chokes their society, man.
But
you know,
never know now. Yeah, I agree, Reed. No, I was actually reading while you were talking, Joe. You were talking over me, Bucker.
Sorry.
That's all right, bitch. Hey, look who's supposed to be at work and is talking with us. So it's not just Americans that do that. Because, D-Bud Martin is often at work when he's in our chat.
Tim does it a lot, too. Tim does.
My Sicilian grandpa was one of the only guys little enough to go down the tunnels in Okinawa. I need to dig out some of those crazy photos to send them to you, Gary. Yeah, man.
Wow.
I'd love to see that, John. Fuck yeah. I still would have tweaked the culmination of the engineer's arc So it's a surprise for the audience and the main character that he's been forgiven. Well, I think it works the way it does, Reed. I actually like that arc because he's out there been hating this guy for all the time that goes by through the film, hating his guts. And but it's what's funny is he hates his own guts, because he knows he was a coward, and he feels like he's at that moment where he's wanting to do something better with his life, and it's on this boat that he begins to change. I think this is where his change, his character. The only complaint I have with this character is, goddamn, he cries a lot.
Yeah,
which is so
Right.
odd for a Japanese.
He's a very
character.
sentimental guy. Yeah.
I'm like, it's like with Zoe. I don't know what you're saying, honey. You're crying. You're crying.
Maybe that has to do with his lack of courage.
I don't know, because he has courage by the end, and he's still he's still a crying fucking bitch at the end when he gets in her fucking hospital room. It's like, Jesus Christ, dude. I mean, yes, I mean,
Why didn't
shed
you
a
like
tear,
that?
fight it, because look, the Japanese culture is made up of people. There's John. I'm at work, but I wish I could be on a panel. Fuck yeah, you're our Godzilla expert. Even though
Godzilla
I consider myself
Bible.
up there because I grew up on Godzilla. I started watching in the 60s, and I was alive during the Showa era. And but anyway, I love these relationships. And by the way, huge nod to Jaws in this film.
Yeah. Whoever made this is a huge Jaws fan.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They basically had the general attitude that Jaws was a kind of kaiju movie.
Yeah.
Pretty
with a
much.
giant shark.
You see
And,
the shark underneath boats, or excuse me, you see Godzilla underneath boats, just like Jaws and all that stuff. Gary, I got to go. Anima,
All right, buddy.
Martin, Pope. Try and keep Gary in line. I'll see you
I'll
guys
try.
later. Be good.
I
Bye.
gave
Bye,
up on
Joe.
that a long time ago.
Yeah, that's a wish in one hand, shit in the other thing.
Oh, no, let's not
You're-
go
you're
there. See you
asking
later,
the
guys. Bye.
You're asking the Marine to keep him in line. I'm going to make him worse.
Yeah, that shit doesn't even work when I'm next to him and able to slap him. I can slap the shit out of him. He's not staying in line.
So it's good to see Regis is here. Hold on. Where the big lizard is, I stand. Hello, wife. Oh, he's already gone, so I can't. I don't know if you read that. And hopefully he'll be back, after he helps his mom. Because he often does that. He gets done doing what he needs to do and then gets back to us. It's also symbolically overcomes his failure if he believes he's going to die. And what's worse is, he thinks that she died. And so I think that plays a huge part.
That is his
in,
motivation to do that, to avenge
Yep.
her.
To avenge her and also to let go. But when the mechanic is talking to him, I knew what he was doing when I watched the movie. I was like, why did it all of a sudden go quiet? We can't hear what they're saying. And I saw his hand go towards behind the seat, and I went, he's telling him how to eject. He's forgiven him.
Because Japanese planes didn't have that eject option.
No, they did not. And that's a German plane. It's a German plane. It's a Neffel Merman plane. Does anybody even know what movie that's from?
I don't think so, no.
The German Merman, Ethel Merman. It's Steve Martin, dead men
Dead man
don't wear
wear no
plaid. The ultimate badass Viking warrior and video gamer, Das Warfen. Though I got to tell you, he sucks at Fallout.
He's been playing it all year. It's
Yeah,
insane.
it's like
It
a whole
never ends.
year of one game. But that, admittedly, they've been putting out additional missions and stuff.
Well, is
Yeah,
he playing the Tale of Two
Destiny.
Wastelands mod?
Yeah.
Yes.
Which that's not one game, that's two. That's Fallout 3 and New Vegas.
Yep.
So it's never going to end.
No.
So this professor with the crazy fucking hair, man, I thought that was a woman. At first, I'm like, what is a woman on the boat for? It's like, oh, it's
He's not
a
a
guy.
professor. He's an engineer, and they call him Doc, and he doesn't like it, but they still do it.
The black and white version, Gambit, is, in my opinion, a superior version. And I think some movies should be seen in black and white. We're going to eventually do The Shadow, and we're going to be doing that in black and white because it looks so good. Well, that was brought up over the weekend, and I think that's a good idea, is to do The Mist in black and white. And I think somebody made the joke, you're going to go blind because there's so much mist. It'll be all white. That's the joke of going blind. Anyway, is he playing Homer's Odyssey mod? Oh, I'm alone. Nobody's answering.
I don't know. It's too late for me to watch that. So
Martin would know. I don't know if this is a joke or.
Yes, about how long has been taking.
Oh, okay. It's
for
a
John
joke. All right.
play.
The boy is seemingly traumatized over the war and the nuke bombings that blew Japan in the end. Well, I got to tell you, man, a lot of people don't know what happened in Japan in those days, those last days, that Emperor Hirohito was considering to prolong the war because his command said that they need to reconnoiter the mainland, they had already started digging tunnels into the mountains where planes could be put in and launched from. They couldn't land in there, and basically fight to the last man. They were going to fight to the last man. And when word got around to some of the command that Hirohito was going to sign the peace treaty, they attempted a coup. And it failed. And one of the guys who was in charge, a very famous man, committed seppuku in the imperial palace after the event failed.
Well, the emperor was trying to surrender, and these guys wanted him to continue even after Nagasaki.
Well, yeah, and when some of these guys heard in the Japanese command that he was going to sign that treaty, and so they attempted this coup to take over Japan so the war could continue, and they wanted Japan to fight to the last man. They didn't care if they all died. We will not surrender. And that coup was stopped, and the treaty went forward. But still, before that happened, they did attempt it. And basically, what was being discussed was the fact, well, you killed a lot of people and you had 2 bombs. Do you have no more? And Harry S. Truman says, yes, we do.
Best bluff in military, best bluff during the war, because we didn't.
And that scared the shit out of Hirohito, that he could just hit there and keep dropping these atomic bombs. And so, yep, we're going to surrender. So it all fell apart with that. And it's one of the greatest bluffs in military history. Because what they were afraid of with Harry S. Truman was that he was going to be like Tecumseh Sherman and burn Atlantis. And that was Sherman saying, you citizens are going to fucking die because you're not stopping your leadership. Stop feeding into it and revolt. And that's why he burned Atlanta.
And that was also a different era of warfare too, where we weren't fighting, this group of people or this government. We were fighting the nation of Japan.
Yep.
And until they surrendered unconditionally, we would not stop.
Nope. And basically, MacArthur, the entire U.S. command, sat there and explained to Truman that if this war is prolonged and we got to invade Japan, we're going to lose up to 2 million men, and we're going to kill even more of them. And
we would have essentially had to.
People bitch about us dropping those bombs, and it's like dropping those bombs saved lives, American and Japanese.
Well, when you look at it, in order to win on the ground in Japan, we would have essentially had to wipe the Japanese people off of the face of the earth.
I know. And it's insane. And when you hear people talking shit about dropping those bombs, it's like, do you know what would have happened if we hadn't? We would have murdered Japan.
Yeah, like there would be no Japan anymore.
So you can bitch all you want to. You clearly show your ignorance that you don't know what was going on. That's where it was headed. A complete genocide of the Japanese people.
It wasn't what we wanted, but it was what was going to happen.
Hey, Meph.
Hey, Mephisto. What's up, buddy? What's this? The president who came from Gary's state made the right decision. Yeah, Harry Truman. I live in Missouri, and that's where he's from. It's the Harry Truman state. So I like that. Harrow.
Harrow.
You're doing it wrong. It's Harrow, but okay. He's doing it the Japanese way. He's doing it. Yeah, he's doing it like you just did, which is Kim Jong-un.
Yeah.
All is well in the Eastern Front. Very good. Do I miss anybody? Stasis Geek? Yep, I've said everybody else. Now, I paused it here for a reason. I'm going to get back to it. This is the Jaws scene. There is another one later on, but this one is clearly a nod to it. The mines are basically the yellow barrels from Jaws. That's what this scene is an homage to. And you see him already starting to show courage in this scene because he's so scared when he gets up to that fucking heavy machine gun. And people go, why do you say heavy machine gun? Pope, you want to explain the difference between heavy and light? Are you here, Pope? Pope's gone.
Oh, sorry, I'm right back. I just grabbing some more water. What's up?
Like the M249 is a light machine gun.
Yes.
50 caliber machine gun is a heavy machine gun. And that thing on the back of this thing is a heavy machine gun that he's going to mount here. And you see him not sure of himself when he mounts that thing. And then he just squeezes that trigger and then he's like, oh yeah, I'm into this.
He knows how to aim for that thing because it's moving and the boat is moving and he's calculating that. The other guy wasn't. That's why he missed.
Well, that's what tracers are for, and that's why Americans learn during training, Marine Corps and U.S. Army, not the Navy or Air Force. Once you get into the tier level versions of the Navy and Air Force, yes, they are trained that way, but only in the tiers. Whereas with the U.S. Marine Corps and Army, we learn during basic how to use tracers to track a target, because that's what you do. You look to see where the enemy is, and when you start firing the tracers are your guide to drop it on top of the enemy spot.
Yeah.
And so that's what he does in this. He uses the tracers to guide where he's firing, because it's really hard to aim with a weapon like that.
I think everyone has a similar experience the first time they fire a heavy machine gun like that, though. Like, you're kind of nervous before you pull the trigger because you know it's about to kick. And then as soon as you get a couple rounds off, you're just like, oh yeah. I like this.
I used a stomper when I worked construction when I was younger. And it's a hydraulic thing that when you do backfill, and you got to go up it and tamp it down. And there's this thing, it's like a hopper, or I've heard called tampers, and they're hydraulic like jackhammers, but the job is it's got a flat base and it's there to push the dirt and pack it down. And when I fired the 50 for the first time, that's what that reminded me of. And I remember my arms were tingly after the first time I fired it for a while. I'm like, holy shit, man. Like my whole arm was a little tingly from that shit because it's constant movement of that gun because your hand's like doing this the whole time. And it's being forced to do it. It's not me doing it, it's the gun doing it. And I loved it, man. There's just so much power in that weapon. And you know that if you were to shoot that at something, because we shot at an old APC.
Yeah.
And put holes in that fucking thing. Because the 50 was not meant to be fired at human beings. The 50 was specifically anti-armor. And that's why Audie Murphy technically committed a war crime when he started shooting those Germans with a 50 caliber and killed 200 of them. It's ridiculous, man. It's like that's 200 fucking war crimes, buddy.
It's like you're going for the Canadian record, huh?
Yeah. Woo. Boy. The visual effects in this are really good. Before the show, we were talking and kind of bitching about it, and I ended up in a very friendly argument with John but everybody pretty much agrees with me that the only thing bad in this is the way Godzilla walks. It's very mechanical.
Yeah.
And it didn't look like he was lumbering, like having difficulty. It looked like he was a machine walking like that. It just, the rest of it, man, like when he gets angry, looks fucking great. You know?
I was sad to see what happened to that cruiser, though, because I know what ship that is. That's either, I forget, it's either Takao or Mogami, and I can't remember which, but it's like the only Japanese cruiser to survive the war. And then it gets killed by Godzilla.
Godzilla kills the fuck out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's a world of difference between killing something and killing the fuck out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're in the military, and Pope knows what I'm talking about, like, shooting something is one thing. Shooting the fuck out of it means you leave hamburger or scrap. It's like nothing left. And that's what that means. I do love the dynamic of these guys' friendship. I do. So the whole, dropping these mines is dropping the barrels from Jaws. And the whole shark following him with the barrels floating. That was the scene. It was a huge fucking nod to Jaws. And I love that. It was totally intentional. Would be kind of poetic if they at some point end up doing mocap for Godzilla. Well, they should have done that for this. That would have helped and saved them the problem of that robotic movement.
Yeah.
You took me and saved me, and we've been together since. I love this. And she's in love with him. But he's like, like a brother in his mind, that he's not good enough for somebody because he's a coward. But they've got a built-in family. You have a girl that's an orphan, a woman who is the surrogate mother, and then now he's the surrogate father. Yeah.
I love how his colleagues tear into him when he tells the kid, "Don't tell me dad. Don't call me dad. I told you I'm not your dad." And they tear the shit in him.
And his neighbor, by the way, hates his guts when he comes back. But she ends up, that's her family now. So she has family. Yeah. I fucking love that. And later on, when she gets the letter saying that the girl is alive, and she shows up and he survived that near kamikaze mission that he finally goes on at the end, she hits him. She keeps hitting him. Like, how dare you? You have a family.
Now, the thing is, he would have done it either way, even without the eject option. He would have flown that plane into Godzilla's mouth. But he had that option, and he has a family.
By the way, I didn't even know if there was a dubbed version. I prefer watching the original version because the acting is different. The voice acting changes it, and I don't like that.
Some of them sound so weird.
Yeah. So I only watch the Japanese versions. When at night I'm sleeping, I will put on the dubbed versions of like Ultraman, but the acting in that is so awful. It's like, oh my god. Iko is the only one I think the actor did a good job on because he pretty much nailed the way Iko is in the Japanese version. Kind of goofy. I've got to tell you, Godzilla movies have had dubbed versions from America that export foreign films for the international recognition for decades. And ironically, it was American International. You put an international in there and America in one sentence. And it's American International that released them. I can't help but think of Grave of the Fireflies when I see post-war scenes like this. Yeah. And I love the way that by the end of this movie, the mechanic's story arc is that he forgives him and tells him there is an eject on this ship and says all you got to do is pull back on this handle. And a lot of people don't realize because that's not a control that he grabs right before he flies that plane into Godzilla's mouth. The only thing that could be is either a fucking stick brake or an eject. And you're not going to fucking pull a brake in the air. Like, what the fuck is that going to do? All your flap control is on your joystick, you know? And that stick to the right of him had to be. And I was like, oh, that's what that was. Okay. I knew right then and there because I suspected that when he reaches, when he's talking to him and then they cut off the dialogue and we're looking at them from far away and they're continuing talking, but you hear no voices. When his hand goes behind the seat, I'm like, he is decided to forgive him and he told him about the eject stick.
Yeah, he's forgiving him because he is offering himself up to do that, to sacrifice himself.
Oh, and by the way, and Popo backed this up too, the Japanese didn't have, and Anima knows this too, I'm assuming Martin knows it as well, they didn't have ejects in Japan. You know, that was the whole point behind being a kamikaze. If you are going down, the Japanese command would prefer you to fly that plane into something and kill more people.
As I recall, nobody had those. Everybody had to open the cockpit.
Germany
and jump.
was working on it. Germany
towards the end, the ME-262 had one. I believe our P-80 Shooting Star had one as well. Not that it saved Richard Bong, but that's one of the things where he did the kamikaze thing in order to save lives, where he had a flame out over the city and chose to stay with the aircraft and make sure it hit somewhere where there was no civilians.
Yeah, and
instead of intentionally leading his aircraft into somewhere he knew it would do damage.
Yeah, and I've seen that, you know, because we've seen that with pilots in the past here in the United States who have gone down with their plane because they were afraid it might go into a civilian area and kill people.
Yep. Although my favorite story with that was there was an F-106 back in, I think, the 70s that started losing control and the pilot punched out, and then the change in weight actually stabilized the aircraft and it just kept flying on its own. They had to shoot it down.
I've heard of that. It's the same thing that happened with the B-17 in World War II. The Ghost B-17.
Yeah, the crew bailed out and
the fucking plane landed.
Yeah, it's like how? Why?
Like, how the hell did that happen? Like, that was crazy. I think that is the single craziest story I heard from World War II.
Yeah, it's like you get in the plane after, and you're like, "Where's the crew?"
Now this is the craziest fucking scene, and it's absolutely one of my favorite moments. Is there she is in that fucking train. And she looks out the window and we see the reflection of Godzilla. And I'm like, man, this is a great throwback to that classic 1954 film. It really is. This feels like one of those moments because you remember there's a train scene in the original Godzilla. And I always thought this is that scene, but now it's personal because she's on the train. And
almost gets killed.
And it has one of those Mission Impossible moments where they did that with the second to last film, where they're like in a train that's going to go over a fucking cliff, and they're slowly going off, and the trains dip sideways, and they got to figure out how to get out of here alive. And this is one of those moments where she's like dangling, and finally Godzilla turns and it goes over water, and she drops and is saved because of that.
Yep.
The other thing I like about this is that they really go into the radiation poisoning, because when he fires his atomic breath, that's atomic energy that's going to kill people, residual.
Yep.
And this is the part I don't like when he's walking. It just looks so robotic.
Yeah,
right here, this angle right here, you can see there was a problem with the CG, where you could see almost a separation of the leg from the body. They masked it well, but I can see it, that was problematic. And you got to remember, this film was shot for a shoestring budget. Let me go, because I haven't been looking up anything for specs on this thing. So let me do that real quick here. This film was shot on a $10 to $15 million budget, and it looked fantastic. I mean, like I said, the only complaint I have is the walking. That's it.
Yeah.
They shot this for $10 to $15 million with a box office of $113.6 million. And that just proves to you, make it a good movie, write a good script, and people will fucking watch it. Build it and they will come. And yes, that's old school Showa era Godzilla, with a little bit of the I just forgot the other one, from the 70s into the 90s. That's where they started making him more cat-like.
Angry
and this
cat.
one has an angry cat.
Man, the reporters on the roof are crazy. Like, everybody's running to get to safety, and they are just reporting and filming and taking photographs.
I also love how he walks in this. And the other thing I love is I love how before he fires the atomic breath, his spine pops up all irradiated.
That looks so cool.
Yeah.
It goes slow at first, and then it gets faster and faster. That looks very cool.
I almost don't know how to respond to that.
To what? What?
Oh, got it.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Because I wanted to talk to you about just a little bit, about they did Greenlight, and it is in pre-production right now, and it's supposed to start filming between now and the end of the year, the sequel. And here we go. Look at that explosion.
Yeah, that one. I will say the graphics in this are excellent, except for that one scene where he's walking.
Yeah. Anytime he's walking, because he has this mechanical way of walking that just doesn't look right. It doesn't look like he's lumbering. It looks like a fucking robot walking. And this is where she saves him and dies.
Gets blown away.
And,
that's what you think.
She's not dead. Countryman that died at the wake of World War II. Yep. Takahata was one of the unfortunate souls in Japan who lost their family. And, I got to point out, Harry S. Trim was quite aware that Nagasaki was a major Catholic city in Japan.
Yep.
That there were Catholic missionaries there, and he knew that. And that's why he got angry at Oppenheimer for being a whiny bitch in the White House. And it's true. That's in the movie Oppenheimer. They show it. And Harry S. Truman did say that, like, don't ever let that son of a bitch in my office ever again. You know, he just considered him a whiny bitch. He did not like Oppenheimer.
No, he was not.
He says, you made the bomb. You're not the one who dropped it on those people. I did that. So don't even fucking talk to me about that. This building gets destroyed. And that's a real building from Japan. It's in the original film, too. It's featured in the original film. And this time, the media is there up on top of that building reporting. And I don't know if they die because the building descends so slowly. There's a good chance they may have survived that fall. Bye, Penny.
Bye, Penny.
Bye, Penny.
And I will point out that this film absolutely is loved by critics and audiences alike. And it's one of those moments where the audience and the critics seem to be somewhere in the same area. So back in February of 24, Yamazaki confirmed that no discussion of a sequel had transpired, but expressed interest in directing one. He elaborated his desire to proceed with following the same characters' lives thereon to have Godzilla battle and antagonizing Kaiju. In an interview, the Mono magazine, Yamazaki implied that a sequel would explore the curse Godzilla left behind on Japan, similar to that of the Tatarigami in Princess Mononoke. And Hanabi remarked when interviewed by the same publication, quote, if there is a next series, I might be the one stepping on and crushing people, end quote. On another occasion, Ando told the Daily Express that he wants her character to encounter Godzilla in a sequel to the film, joking that she would like to be, quote, jumping like his Spider-Man type woman, taking down Godzilla, end quote, which I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that one.
Yeah. It's like, stay grounded, don't get weird. The possibility of a sequel was largely discussed at a stage greeting held after a screening in the film's black and white version in Tokyo, January 12th of 24. Several cast members were in attendance, and Yamazaki attended remotely from the United States. The latter signified wanting the characters to return to the sea for the sequel. Yamada proposed the idea of using Noriko as the key to locating Godzilla because she's infected. According to his interpretation, she possesses the monster's cells in her body. During the February Q&A with Collider, Yamazaki announced that he had begun developing a new movie and denied that it would be a sequel to -1. Producer Minami Ichikawa believed that Toho would take their time to produce the next live-action Godzilla film since they want, quote, great ideas, an excellent script, and a talented director, and the right cast to work on it carefully because Godzilla deserves to have the level of intentionality, end quote. Then in November of 24, it was disclosed that a new Godzilla had been greenlit and Yamazaki returning to the film. At the 23rd Annual Visual Effects Society Awards in 25 of February, Yamazaki announced that the storyboarding and scripting of the new Godzilla film is in progress, and he expects it to cost more than Godzilla -1. Because it was an experiment, see if it worked. On April 14th, Bloomberg News reported that the sequel is in development, and in July, Toho International President Koji Ueda, man, some of these names, suggested the sequel could potentially be released in 26. And then the last I read, because it's not there on Wikipedia, was that the film is moving forward. We're in the pre-production stage, and they believe production will start near the end of 2025. So there you go. So here we go. This is that, this is leading into what will be the final act, moving into the third act. And they're talking about how to destroy them. And instead of going the original film's way with the oxygen destroyer, as they call it, not destroyer, they pronounce it destroyer. They come up with another method, which is to bottleneck him in and sink him. And I'm trying to remember, but the funny part of this movie is you see Godzilla not swimming, but walking out in the middle of areas that are deeper than he is tall. And that was another thing I thought was weird in the film. Like, I know where they're at right now. It's way deeper than that. He can't be walking. I have a brilliant idea. It's a big lizard, right? Let's create a giant cat. Problem solved.
Yeah,
there you go,
that
Snorty.
would work. Their plan was to sink him rapidly and then pull him back up just as quick to
Create
destroy
him
him.
decompression. Yep.
Yep.
The Nagasaki debate is just another knot in all those tough debates for Truman and others. I can't imagine. But it's really, to me, there's no debate. If the war continued, millions would have died. Millions. We would have wiped out Japan and potentially killed Japan as a country. Like, it would be gone. Only the outlying Japanese islands would survive, like Okinawa. The Nagasaki debate. Yep. I don't see it as a debate. It could be an argument, but it's an argument that one side is right, one side is wrong. And the side that's wrong in that one is anybody who says that there was no excuse for dropping those bombs. Yeah, there is. And I think it's a viable one, quite.
Well, there was no excuse. There was a very good reason. Different.
Yeah.
That's a good point. It's not an excuse. It's an actual reason to do this.
Yeah, you're right. Where I put my water bottle. Oh, there it is. I do not want soda today. I want my coffee. I just like coffee in the morning. It's odd, I love the smell of breakfast cooking, but my favorite smell as a kid was walking in the kitchen and smelling coffee brewing.
Yeah.
That's an awesome smell.
Don't get me wrong. I did like the smell of pancakes, eggs, bacon. Oh my God, that smells great. But it's that coffee smell that it's a smell all by itself, man. When
the best would be when you come off like a 3-day patrol or whatever, and then you come into either the COC or the chow hall, and there would be fresh coffee on. It's just like, oh, I love you.
Well, that's one thing I like about the movie Black Hawk Down is the importance of. I don't pronounce it like Keith, so you don't get to make that joke. I pronounce the H, so. I actually say Black Hawk. You don't hear me say it like Keith, where he's like Black Hawk. Now, like, look, Keith bragging again, talking about his dick.
But no, there's a scene like that in the Pacific as well, where like they're just coming off of Guadalcanal, and these guys, like, their dungarees are cut to shit.
They stole coffee, too. They stole coffee.
No, it wasn't even that. Oh, it wasn't even that. Like, this is when they were getting evac from the island, and like these guys are all scruffy, haven't shaved in weeks, like just look like absolute hammered shit. And they walk into the galley on the transport, and he's like, "Sorry guys, chow's not till like 1500." And these guys look like really deflated because they haven't had like real food in weeks.
Right.
And it's like, and then they like look at the little carafe. He's like, "Is that coffee?" He's like, "Yeah, have as much as you want." And it's like, oh.
They lost so much weight there because supplies were going bad.
wasn't even because they were going bad necessarily. It was because the Japanese were running through the slot every night, and they couldn't not only keep supplies around. The supply ships had to leave.
Yep. But they had a problem in the Pacific, and I can't remember if this happened in Europe, but sea rats going bad. And
they didn't in Europe. They did in the Pacific because of the humidity and the heat.
Yeah, the heat would cause some of the cans to burst.
Yep.
And so there was a significant loss of food in the Pacific. But the thing that's amazing, and the Japanese and the Germans were the same way, like they couldn't believe Americans had ice cream.
We had 2 entire barges that's job was to go around the Pacific and make ice cream for the troops. Yeah. Meanwhile, you have like your average Japanese soldier who's living on like a cup of rice a day.
Yeah, right.
And like can maybe some meat sometimes, probably some fish that they caught locally.
So any of them that were captured and taken prisoner, and they immediately thought they were going to be brutalized, and instead they were treated with kindness and had ice cream.
Yeah, they'll hand them a cigarette, a Coke, and some ice cream, and they're like, "What the fuck is this?"
We were told you were going to brutalize us and demean us and then slowly kill us. And it's like, and instead they're feeding us better than our own country did.
Well, I think that's the moment they realized just how well supplied the U.S. military was. And they're like, how could we ever have fought this? You guys are not even wasting space on ammo or anything like that. You have everything you need, but you have ice cream and shit like this too. It's like, yeah, welcome to America.
They had a ship
enough for everything.
I can't remember which ship it was, but there was one specific ship. Its sole job was to make and supply ice cream.
Yeah, there was a couple of, I don't think they were named. I think they just had numeric designated barges that their job was to get towed around the Pacific, park off an island, and just make ice cream.
Make ice cream. And it's like, that's insane, man. Hey, man, you're probably going to die today, but you'll have a stomach full of ice cream.
Well, that was the important thing with morale is, that was one of the reasons Coke did what they did and basically built like 85 bottling plants around the world. So anywhere in the world, a USGI could get a Coca-Cola for the same 5 cents.
I like this
marketing strategy of all time.
This is a great comment. I'm just picturing a ship in the Navy sailing around with an ice cream van tune playing.
I mean, if they existed at the time, I would not put it past the U.S. Navy's sense of humor to do that.
I can't remember. Hold on, let me look it up real quick.
Have an ice cream jeep
played. Oh my God! Yeah, right.
An ice cream jeep just pulls up. It's just like, what?
I have to look this up real quick. So hold on. There's something I forgot the name of the song. One of the songs that was commonly played in the United States on ice cream trucks was an 1800s racist fucking song, but they only play the music like a music box sound. But the song itself, if you learn the lyrics, is racist as fuck.
Yeah,
like with the N-word in it, and it's still played on some ice cream trucks to this day.
And you're just like,
and it's like, that's crazy. That's crazy. It's wackadoodle. And I'm trying to find the name of the song.
The funny one was like, when people were talking about, right when the whole woke thing was starting.
Turkey in the Straw. Turkey in the Straw song. Turkey in the Straw is the song.
But when the whole woke thing was starting, and then they canceled the Looney Tunes, and like, the Looney Tunes aren't racist. And then you see some of the ones from the 30s or the Warriors, and you're like, yeah, you might have a point there.
Yep, that's pretty racist.
Especially the ones during the war.
It's racist. Yeah. Oh, the Tojo, all that stuff. Yeah. But that was kind of the way America was at that time. We fucking hated Japan. because of what they did. Germany didn't do that to us.
No,
if Germany had done that, we would have hated them. We did hate them during World War One because of the sinking of the Lusitania. But when it came to hatred, though, nothing matched the hatred of the United States against Japan.
Well, that and there was
Harbor.
there is an element of, ethnic solidarity there too, because like a third of America at the time had German ancestry. So that's one of the reasons why everyone kind of went, oh, well, why didn't we inter, German citizens too? It's like, first of all, we didn't hate the Germans during World War II. They declared war on us, so we were going to go fight them, but there was no hate there.
Because they were part of the Axis, and they knew if Japan was at war, they had to declare. And, I remember saying at one point, that was one of the biggest mistakes, the biggest blunder Germany did, was declaring war on us. They could have tried to maintain, and we might not have entered the war in Europe. But no, we had to. We had to. But also, we were already fighting. We found different ways of fighting. But also,
there were so many German people here. We could never have interred that many people. It would be like a third of our population we'd have to lock up. That's
the craziest.
It's like, whereas the Japanese, like, yes, they were Americans and they considered themselves Americans, but there weren't all that many of them.
Yep, and there was a good reason, though, it was done. But I would say a good excuse is the better way to say it this time, because we knew there were Japanese spies at Pearl Harbor. We knew it, and one was a dentist, and we knew that they were taking photographs of Pearl Harbor and sending it to to Japan. They were spies, and so that scared the shit out of Roosevelt, and Roosevelt overreacted. And
there was also a not unfounded fear that there would be a lot of retaliation against Japanese Americans and their businesses and homes, and they were trying to protect them from that as well.
They can put that in there as well.
Not unfounded.
The fact is, though, in the end, it was Roosevelt actually committed a crime, a constitutional crime, doing it, because you can't do that. You can't inter American citizens, and just because of their race, and they did. But I understand, the reasoning behind some of it, but that doesn't make it right.
And we could have also done it a lot better too. A lot of them, assigned caretakers for their homes, or people to run their businesses while they were interred. Like, hey, we know we can't allow you out right now, but we'll make sure everything's the way it was when you get home. And that didn't happen. So I think it could have been, if it had to be done.
Democrats don't do that, buddy. Democrats
if it had to be done, and I'm not saying it did, it could have been done a lot better than it was.
Hold on, Andy. Are you serious?
That's fucking awesome.
That's fucking great.
I love it.
I always thought it'd be funny just have an ice cream truck that plays the voice of sounding something like Jerry Lewis yelling, "Ice cream! We got ice cream! Come get your ice cream!" I thought that'd be funny as shit. But man, every kid, I don't know, were they still doing that when you were a kid? The ice cream truck?
Oh, yeah.
It comes by. Fucking kids lose their fucking minds, man.
Yep.
Just like, ice cream, gotta go get some ice cream. Mom, can I have $1?
Mm-hmm.
We don't have that here, unfortunately.
That's weird to not have that. Time for the old bear to take an afternoon snooze. Have a fun show, every human. All right, buddy. Good seeing you, Snorty. Take care.
Have a good nap.
We need quick draw to get your wallet out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that shit's crazy, Andy. That's crazy. Good, the bad, and the ugly played on your ice cream trucks. There's a movie that came out in the 80s that I love about these two warring families that have ice cream trucks up in the north of England.
The Ice Cream
It
Wars.
might have been Scotland, but the movie has this character in it named Dickie Bird. He was a radio personality in the movie, and I have the movie. I could just find it, but I'm not going to look for it right now. Something in Comfort was the name of the movie. I can't remember what the first word is.
I don't remember the name of the movie, but I know the event it's about, the Ice Cream Wars, which had nothing to do with ice cream.
Okay.
Basically, they were using ice cream trucks to move drugs around the city. And it was a couple of rival gangs, and they started shooting up each other's trucks.
Comfort and Joy. That's it. Comfort and Joy. And it's directed by the same guy that wrote and directed Gregory's Girl. Written by Bill Forsyth and directed by Bill Forsyth. And Bill Patterson is the actor that's in that. I fucking love that guy, man. And he's still alive. One of the last films I remember seeing him in that came to the U.S. was the one where the witches turned the little boy into a mouse. And it has Angelica Houston in it.
Hocus
Pocus. Was it Hocus Pocus?
I think it was Hocus Pocus.
'84. That the year? No, that is not the right year.
I was going to say, Hocus Pocus came out when I was a kid. I want to say maybe 95, 96. Had like Bette Midler and all that in it.
No. That's not the movie.
Okay.
That's Witches of Eastwick.
With Angela. Yeah, I'll never live that movie down. Because I took my son to it because I read the book, and it's not a scary book, it's a comedy. Yeah, The Witches is the movie. 1990, and it stars Angelica Houston. And the movie has a happy ending to it, whereas the book, they win, but he remains a mouse at the end of the book.
Oh, you mean like when my mother let me watch Watership Down when I was like 7 because she said, "Oh yeah, it's a cartoon rabbit. How bad can this be?"
Oh my God, I saw it as a young man too.
Yeah,
that's a dark fucking movie.
Oh yeah, it's like, oh, it's just a book about rabbits. It is not a book about rabbits.
Oh, by the way, this little girl is the most adorable thing I've seen. The only thing more adorable than that is my buddy Entertainment John. Anyway, he lives in Japan. He's an American from New York. He's got a thick New York accent, but it sounds amazing when he speaks fluent Japanese. And he has 3 Japanese kids, and they're just the cutest fucking things I've ever seen in my life. And I don't know what it is. And this little girl in this movie is all kinds of adorable. The only time she's not adorable is when she's crying, because she has an ugly cry face. Also, I want to point out the CG miniature work in this is amazing with the ships.
Yeah.
Even though, yes, I'm fully aware in color that that's CG. Also, the blending of live action and the digital ship miniatures. This shot right here is great. I mean, this is perfectly made. I cannot believe how little every penny of the budget is in this movie. There is no waste.
Oh yeah. And it's brilliant work too. It's all seamless to the point where you can barely tell.
And I love the writing and the dialogue, and the characters are just so. I enjoy them, and I want to immerse myself in that. Yeah, which is Roald Dahl wrote that. That's based on his short story, and the little boy at the end in the book remains a mouse. They defeat the witch, but sadly, he stays a mouse. And his dad in the movie is played by Bill Peterson or Patterson, a Scottish actor. I fucking love that guy. I think he's a great actor. And I love that movie, Comfort and Joy. It's a Christmas movie. Hence the title, you can tell, where he ends up being the olive branch between these two warring families. And in order for them to maintain peace, he gives them a gift from a Chinese family of fried ice cream.
How do you
Because
fry ice
Scotland
cream?
and they'll fry anything.
You get the ice cream at its coldest, okay, and then you roll it and roll it and roll it in the breading, and then you freeze it again, put it back in the freezer, and then you take it out and you fry it just long enough to make the outside crispy golden brown, and you pull it out and it's got soft ice cream on the inside. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
There is
That sounds
a
like it shouldn't be.
Japanese restaurant here in town. I forget the name of it. It's one of my favorite places to go. When Mac and I wanted sushi, that's where Zoe cried because they gave her peach ice cream and she was afraid that we were trying to trick her into eating sushi. She thought the real peaches in the ice cream was sushi. And we're like, and even the owners of the restaurant, it is not, no, it is not. It's peaches, real peaches. No, she's just fucking crying. So fucking funny. Oh, I can look it up for you real quick. It was you had Angelica Houston. You had as Miss Ernst, Mai Zetterling as Helgen. I think she's the good one, if I recall correctly. God, a lot of beautiful women in that movie. I'm a big fan, by the way, of a lot of the films from Europe. And one of my favorite directors, I mentioned a second ago with Comfort and Joy, is Bill Forsyth. He's still alive. And both Brian and I had tried to get him to come on the show. And I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep emailing him in hopes to eventually get him on. And when I can get him, the movie I'm going to do is Gregory's Girl, because I love that movie as a teenager, because it really captured what it's like to be a middle teen and falling in love with a girl. Oh, I love these boat scenes. But we are again coming up on another Jaws moment with the little boat. Oh, this fucking plane. I think the visual effects on this plane is some of the best I've seen in a World War II style film. The only other film I think is better is Christopher Nolan's film. And
Yeah.
I don't like the movie because they got a lot of shit wrong, but I still like the movie and enjoyed the movie. But fuck, man, the best part of that movie is Tom Hardy's character flying and fighting, trying to protect these Brits.
I
But
love
they
the
left
moment
out-
when the kid with the broken arm that they left behind, and he was so pissed about being left behind, but he couldn't really help with only one arm. And he comes to their rescue with a bunch of other people. And they say the useless come to the rescue. That's a beautiful moment.
And one of the things that a lot of anger towards Nolan with the film was that they don't show there was a lot of African soldiers fighting for England, fighting for the crown, and they don't depict it in the movie. But I'm like, it's still a good movie, but yeah, it misses a lot.
So, I mean, those African troops weren't fighting for England. They were part of the French colonial corps.
Oh, French colonial war, yeah. Gary should dress as Krampus. I don't have to. I am Krampus.
No. Have you seen the guy? You need to dress up for that. Get horns and shit.
And I think that's who it was, though, dude. The name I gave you. I think that's the actress's name is May Zetterling. That's a trippy movie. We should do that film, The Witches. Because it's not a Disney film. That's a fucking Warner Brothers movie. And the poster is great. I love that artwork. And then they did a remake of it, and I'm like, nope, not going to watch that.
That's always how it goes. Where it's like,
They need to stop with the fucking remakes.
No, okay. I got to correct myself. It's technically not a remake. It's a readaptation. But why bother when the first one was perfect? And it still looks good today. This is what we talked about yesterday. Or was it Saturday? Saturday. We were talking about on Saturday that we liked it back when the studios would re-release movies.
Yep.
Instead of doing it, they'd re-release them in the theater. And I like it when you do that. They're doing it with Star Wars. You know, that's the way you do it. You know, re-release a film in the theater and a new generation gets to enjoy it.
Yeah, they did that with the original
they have
trilogy.
to gender swap shit. They have to do the gender swap and eliminate redheads and build in gay characters. That's the only reason for doing remakes.
I know.
Shit.
Yeah, and you know, they did that with the Star Wars original trilogy when I was a kid, where they came like right before Phantom Menace came out. They re-released like one a year the original trilogy in theaters.
Dude, they did that during the pandemic, and it was the only thing selling seats.
Well, yeah, because people will still show up for the original Star Wars movies. Not anything Disney's made, but
all right, I'm going to pull the movie down just for a second and pop this up. This is who you're talking about then, Jane Horrocks. And she is gorgeous, by the way.
Yeah, she is.
And this is her today, and I remember this show. My problem is I now won't watch any British shows about law enforcement. I'll watch it about this, because this is about paramedics and shit. But I now I will block the images because I can do that with the software I have. If there are shows that are on video sites for me to watch that are British law enforcement shows, I block them. I don't want to watch them because I know that law enforcement isn't law enforcement anymore. They're jackboots.
Yeah.
There are probably a handful of cops still working that aren't fucking assholes. Most of the people that work for law enforcement today in Britain are jackboots that are part of the movement and believe in the movement. And that's why you get all these videos we're seeing here in the U.S. of people demanding going to and into homes to demand the computer or software computer PCs or devices because somebody posted something that hurt somebody's feelings.
Yep.
And it's unforgivable.
It's gotten to the point where they arrest 12,000 people a year for essentially thought crimes on the internet, which is twice the number of the PRC. When you're more oppressive than communist China, you have a problem.
Like even the communist China is like, what's going on with the West? They're worse than us.
Yeah, or either that or they just know, or China doesn't have that many cases because people just know not to say certain things ever to anyone.
Yeah, they know that.
It's like, those are inside thoughts. It would be like feudal Japan where it's like, I'm going to go tell that guy with the sword what I think of him. It's like, you can do that. I wouldn't.
I did like Law and Order UK for a bit. The actor who played Jerry Orbach's equivalent of a good actor, same guy who was a Doctor Who companion. I also liked that in the Law and Order you had the actor that played Apollo in the 2000s Battlestar Galactica. And by the way, another thing that I talked about with Anima while watching this movie is that some of the male characters speak more feminine than the more traditional Japanese male characters.
And they sound nice.
Yeah, this guy right here, the guy in the middle and the guy on the left speak male Japanese. Whereas
It
some of the
sounds like
guys
they're
have
burping.
there's softer tone. Yeah, because it's one of the things I remember when I was interested in learning Japanese was guttural. You speak from low tones, guttural speak. Whereas these men, like the science or engineer and all that, they're softer and they speak more like a female. And there are different ways of speaking Japanese. There's the masculine and the feminine. And that's why if you listen to Japanese women speak, they speak often with the soft, gentle kind of voice. And so I loved it when all these fucking Karens in the world were bitching about non-Japanese women speaking fluent Japanese and trying to sound like they were like Japanese girls. And it's like, that's because they were taught how to speak Japanese that way, because you're expected to speak that way as a woman.
Yeah, I mean, learning a language, you listen to native speakers and copy them. You want to speak language, not accent. So.
When you take classes in speaking Japanese, they teach it that way. If you're a male, you're taught this way to speak. And I find it just hilarious when these people who don't know what they're talking about go cultural appropriation. The other day, it was so funny. They had this woman standing out on a street yelling at a cop. Or no, it was inside of a mall or something. This cop's just sitting there looking at her. And he turns to her and he says, she's wearing I think it's the scarf, the shmi. Is that what it's called? I forget. It's
the shmag, yeah.
Yeah. And basically, he says she's a white woman with blonde, reddish, strawberry blonde hair.
Yeah.
And I'm here for Palestine. And he goes, that's cultural appropriation, right? She goes, what? That I'm wearing this? I'm wearing it in my support. And he goes, it's still cultural appropriation. How is it appropriation if I support it? She's not understanding her own stupidity when saying that.
No, because
that doesn't matter if you support it.
Their position is not based on logical conclusions. It's based on pure emotion and stupidity.
Yeah. Feelings. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Feelings.
Well, I love when the ceasefire started and then Hamas immediately started shooting anyone they thought was a collaborator, and then they were like, what? Like, yeah, we've been telling you this.
I explained this a couple of weeks back, Reed, to Anima, how funny that is. That the symbol for woman is this one cross with a triangular stick, okay? And I think that's what it is for the hieroglyph. Anyway.
No, it's a circle with a cross underneath it. And the male is a circle with an arrow pointing to the upper right.
The Japanese symbol for female. I'm not talking about that.
Oh, I thought you meant the universal one.
I meant Japanese.
No, the Japanese.
Yes.
For
it. It looks like a number 4 with a curve at the bottom that curves left, and then a line across the top. And that means woman. And then for noise, loud noise, obnoxious noise, is that symbol done 3 times in a triangle.
That's weird.
What did they mean by this?
And so I'm like, the first time I learned that, I went, we saw what you did there, Japan. Nice. Yep. That obnoxious noise is woman 3 times. It's like, that's sexist and it's funny. Tell me the Japanese don't have a sense of humor. I did wait a minute, what was that? I'm sorry. Wanted to read that again. It's still under your control now. I did like Law and Order UK for a bit. Oh yeah. We were talking about this already. And yeah, the actor, like I said, from Battlestar Galactica 2000 was also in there. He was a barrister. But I stopped watching anything about British law enforcement, anything made after 2014. And because it's all woke, especially if it's from the BBC and got no room for it. Surprised I haven't had the police knocking at my door because of my flag avatar. By the way, speaking of that, over on X, I can do the American flag next to my name. And but I tried to do my support for Ireland and Britain on there, and it's a black flag. It won't show up when I try to add the emoji.
Interesting.
And I can't get it to work. And it said, well, you do Windows key and either period, depending on what window you're in. It's either Windows key period or Windows key semicolon. Opens up your emoji thing. And for some reason, mine doesn't have any flags in it. The only flags that show up when I pop it up are the gay and trans flags.
Interesting.
That's so stupid.
And I tried to update it because I'm like, fuck off with that.
By the way,
Because I support the shit out of England and Great Britain.
we have
And of course
somebody
the
in the
Irish.
chat, and this is his name.
By what name are you known?
There are some who call me Tim.
Tim? And still, one of the funniest stories is how that came about, because he had this long bit of dialogue with a real name, and as they were shooting, he fucking forgot the name.
Yep.
And so he jokingly said, Tim? Like he's asking you, like, maybe Tim? I don't know. What you do know? The worst thing is modern panel shows. That's the place jokes go to die. Not on this channel. We get some great compliments, Reed. Occasionally we get these fucking assholes. Stop talking. Show the movie, and I'm like, clearly you're illiterate.
Yeah,
or-
because it says movie discussion in the description.
It's like, or have never watched this channel before.
Yeah, this channel is all about talking about film, having some fun, and showing love for film. And I fucking love this movie, and I love there at the end as he starts weeping like a little bitch.
I
and
hate
it's
that
the
we
little
see
girl-
him cry
The
over
little
her
girl
and,
isn't even in the story
Yeah.
anymore.
right.
The little
Right.
girl's like he puts her down, and like we don't know what she's doing. She might be
That annoyed me.
grabbing syringes and stabbing herself. We don't know. It's just him crying like a bitch into her bosom, and it's cute. Don't get me wrong, because he's so relieved she's not dead. But then they pull over to the side, and you see the black shit coming up her neck from Godzilla, being affected by Godzilla.
I do believe she's gonna be linked to Mothra.
Well, look, I don't want that. I don't want that. Only if she has a twin would I like that, because they have to. They started to do that with the Warner Brothers films, and then they dropped it because the twins were mentioned in the second Godzilla film, and you had an actress that was supposed to play both parts.
But you don't see the twin sister.
It's gone. It's gone.
They
It just
mention
got
it
dropped.
for
Because
reasons
Obi-Wan hit her.
Everybody, don't talk. Just look at Martin right now.
By the way, here are the pictures that Tim sent.
Yes, look at
Oh,
that.
I love that place.
that
I've been
is
there.
so cool.
Yeah, it's a
And
giant hangar. Yeah.
And that B-29 you're seeing in the background there, that is in fact the Enola Gay.
Yep. I went there with my dad, and it is amazing. I also really love down in Arizona is the famous airplane graveyard. And I mean, it's so amazing to walk through that place.
No, it really is.
And it's a German plane, as I recall. Wasn't it designed by Germany?
No,
Apparently
it was
very
Japan.
Japanese.
I thought for some reason, because there was a reason that it has a German ejecting, because the Germans were the only ones to have ejection systems at that time. Because
Maybe they started it,
we
yeah.
did, the United States did what's referred to as bailouts. You would open your cockpit and fucking jump out. And you try to, as I recall, you try to sit at a specific angle so you go over the main wing and go under the rudder. And if I remember correctly, that's the way you were supposed to fly when you're going to have to bail out. Tip the nose down.
Although
the last thing you want to do is like hit that fucking tail section.
Although in this thing, you don't want to do a bailout because you'll be bailing out right into the freaking prop.
Well,
but yeah, that was an experimental Japanese plane. They only ever built a few.
Yeah, well, the idea, as you can read there, is that they wanted it to be a jet. So the propeller is just to see if the configuration could fly.
Yeah.
It's like some of the early versions of the what do you call it? First use of delta wings, and where you have the rudder in the front instead of the back. They weren't sure if that would work, and then of course the design of the flying wing, because a lot of them didn't work.
Everyone credits that to the Germans, and that's fucking wrong. Jack Northrop was working on one in the 30s.
Northrop, and later Northrop Grumman. Once the war was over, they teamed up with the Germans, and it became Northrop Grumman.
Yeah, and they built that jet flying wing design in the 50s. It never went anywhere, but it was very close to what the B-2 is.
And that reminds me, because you got it with the Weyland Utani company in Alien, in the Alien universe, and in the Blade Runner universe, you have the Shimatu Dominguez Corporation.
Yeah.
Both of them are based off of Northrop Grumman.
Doesn't surprise me.
And because I mean, everybody knows who that is, and it's two different countries that teamed up and created one company, main company. And so Ridley had the idea of having something like that. I don't know if he's the one who came up with the name, because I actually think it was the first screenwriter that worked on it with him. Put that in there, the Shimatu Dominguez Corporation. Yeah, the Mitsubishi. Yeah, it's like there are companies out there we buy cars and shit from, motorcycles, that have been around since before World War II and made shit for World War II.
Most of them renamed themselves after the war. Best example is Nakajima. They are now Subaru.
Yeah, I remember reading once that Mitsubishi made a motorcycle called the Kamikaze. It didn't sell well.
Oh, God.
Okay, tell me I don't make good jokes, even if they're bad. They're still funny.
They're dark,
yeah, they did some testing with it, and the cyclist kept crashing. Yeah, for some reason, they only crash into things like buses, trucks, and things with a lot of people in them. I can't understand it. I think it's built in.
It's like, well, it's the old great joke. What does the kamikaze instructor say to his students? Pay very close attention.
Report.
Hey, how's it going, Sam? But
you know that?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but what did the kamikaze instructor say to his students? Pay very close attention. I'm only going to do this once.
Once, yeah. I always loved the Cheech and Chong scene that's on one of their albums. We the celebrated kamikaze pilots now take our celebratory sake juice. Before we drink the sake juice, are there any questions? Yes, you in the back. Yeah, are you fucking crazy? Oh man, I love that album. Wait, you froze up. What? You froze up, Pope. You said something. You froze up. We didn't hear it.
Oh, just like, are you crazy? Yeah, tiny bit.
Yeah. So ceremonial. That was it. The ceremonial sake juice. I just thought that was one of the funniest skits because he goes through this whole spiel, you know, and he goes, "Are there any questions?" Yes, you in the back. Yeah, are you fucking crazy? This just fucking slayed me. I was in high school when I heard that the first time. It's like, and then I found out they were like big potheads, and I'm like, oh, that was a turnoff to me because I was like one of those straight laced guys in school. I wouldn't do that shit. I was into beer, but that's because I grew up in a drug-addled family. You know, lot of fucking drugs. If you know, my parents popping pills, especially my mom, and both my parents being drunks, and then like my siblings started out with drugs and then became drunks later. You know, I did not want to do drugs because I saw as the baby in the family how bad it got. And I'm like, I want nothing to do with that. But then I started hanging out with guys that smoked pot, and we'd be like either watching movies or gaming. And I was in a room, and they would always seal the fucking windows because they didn't want to get caught. And you seal a room and people smoking weed in there. I got what's called a contact high. And I'm like, at this point, like, why am I bothering not doing it? I'm getting high anyway. And so, because I was fake hitting. And I don't know if you've ever done that, do fake hits.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to inhale that shit in my lungs. Yeah, I'm always gaying. It's what I do. Marines do it too. And this is what I said to my buddy. I said, they said, you know, everybody knows all the gays are in the Navy. I went, no, it's the Marine Corps because, you know, it's in their fucking motto. Looking for a few good men. And I've always loved that joke. And I did not write that joke or make it up. I've
always loved the second half of that saying.
I think it was Robin Williams. What's that?
I've always loved the second half of that saying, at least according to the Marines. Like, we're looking for a few good men. All right, stupid, get on the truck.
Get in the truck. Yeah, I try to explain to people about what the shark frenzy is like. And I told Anima, man, even during the shark frenzy, no DIs fucked with me because I did exactly what they told me to do. I went to where they told me to go to, and I did it in a very expeditious fashion. And they want that. And if you do things exactly the way they tell you to do them, they tend to not fuck with you. They only yell at the other guys. And so I saw a lot of guys getting fucking bloody water, dude. We had this one guy. Oh my God, his last name was Condon. And he was sitting next to me in the truck when we were being transferred from reception over to basic. And I'm talking to him. I says, what's your name, man? He says, Condon. I went, yeah, you need to stay the fuck away from me. And he's like, what? I went, no, you've got a fucked up name. They're going to fuck with you.
Oh, you mean like the Asian kid I went to boot camp with, whose name was Dong?
Yeah, that's you're just gonna get fucked with.
Yeah, it's just I'm sorry, dude. Like, you could be the most squared away kid ever. You are going to get fucked with.
They're gonna fuck with you. I didn't have one of those names. They didn't fuck with me. I wasn't stupid. In fact, the first day, because we didn't have a full day. The first day technically was day 0. And you're there, and 90% of that day, you're in a room with a bunch of fucking bald guys, because there's no high and tight and basic. Bald. You're fucking bald. Everybody looks like Uncle Fester. And heads down, fucking filling out paperwork. And finally, you go to your barracks, you empty out your bag in front of you, and the drill sergeant comes by and inspects if you've got anything that you're not supposed to have, contraband. And because in reception, they take you and tell you if you've got any contraband, you go into a room. It's like a confessional alone. You're in a line, and everybody goes in that room, and anything that's contraband, you throw into the black box, which I have always believed went into a crate that the drill instructors took home with them later.
Oh yeah.
And oh man, this is good shit. Oh, who's throwing that away? A lot of times it would be dip, and because you were during boot, no dip.
What's
You
dip?
get caught with tobacco, your ass is in trouble. You are not allowed. That's contraband. And it's not until about your third or fourth week in Army basic training they start to let you have tobacco products. And it was the same thing with you in the Marine Corps?
No, you were not allowed to have
The whole
any kind of
time.
tobacco products the entire time. No energy drinks, no candy, no snacks. Like, if you took shit from the chow hall, you got caught. You got fucked up for it. And knowing us, I'm thinking that you were getting punished because you got caught, not because you stole something.
Here's my favorite. My favorite with that, okay, because we're all wearing as basic duty uniform cargo pants, and there would always be this one asshole that would put food in his pockets, that one of his cargo pockets, and it's like the drill sergeants can see that you've got something in there. It's not supposed to be anything in there, and so the drill instructors, the drill sergeants, would walk up, and they would see that, and they go, "Hey, I wonder what's in here. Let's find out." And he would just squeeze it. It's like if it's fruit, juice would just go everywhere. If it was like a sandwich, your pocket was gross. And then you didn't get to deal with it until the end of the fucking day. And go back to your barracks and clean your fucking pockets out. Yeah, they would fuck with you. Did I tell you what I did that one day? It was a rainy day and everybody's wearing their fucking ponchos with the hoods, okay? And it's Missouri. It's about 70 miles from me, where I went to basic training, and from where I'm right now. And basically, it's like they're out there getting soaked, and they're all just bunched together, like. And I looked up, and the drill sergeants were up in this tower overlooking us, and there was a little muddy ramp road that went up to where they were. And it was so high that you literally just walked right into the top level of this fucking tower that they're standing and looking at everybody. And they're all standing up there, and I'm standing behind them. They don't know I'm there yet. They didn't notice me because I walk quietly. And hence my nickname in the Army, Ghost. And basically, I'm standing right behind them, and they're just making fun of everybody down there. And one of the drill sergeants goes, "I don't know what to make of that." I said, "Yeah, it kind of looks like a garden salad." And they all just turned and looked at me like, and they fucking laughed. I said, "Yeah, it kind of looks like a garden salad, doesn't it? All these fucking wet lettuce." They never fucked with me. I never got fucked with the whole time I was in basic. The only thing that happened to me was when my drill sergeant found out I was an artist. And it was funny how he found out. And he wanted me to do a mural. And so he gave me permission to take anybody with me I needed to carry supplies back to do this mural in the barracks. And so I took two of my buddies with me. And Fuller and Jones. They're also the ones you'll see them in photos with me. They were my two best friends in basic. And Julio was my third. And later Davis, because we all went to AIT together except for Fuller. All of us went to combat medic training. And but I took him over, got some art supplies, and I'm coming back, and Top is there, first sergeant.
Uh-oh.
And he says, hey, where are you guys coming from? I said, First Sergeant, I'm Gary Cassell. Drill Sergeant Samuels gave me permission to go get supplies. And he says, yeah, I know about you, but what are these guys doing? I said, they're carrying some of the supplies for me because I got so many. And he goes, yeah, but they weren't listed in permission to go. And I said, well, he told me I could take anybody I want. And he goes, he didn't tell me that. And so he's going to take these two guys and smoke the shit out of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought because I was, my drill sergeant's favorite, that I could like stand up for him. And I said, well, if you're gonna smoke them, you got to smoke me. Top went, oh, okay. And then what he did, he had them sit down and watch him smoke me. And
that is not a thing you want to say to an Army first sergeant. It's like, if you got to smoke them, you got to smoke me.
Because the look on his face was oh,
just
okay.
Pure perverse glee of just.
I learned to watch my mouth after that, boy.
Yeah, it's just like, and somebody finally fucked around and found out.
And I found out, man, he smoked me into body collapse. Mm-hmm. I did so many crunches. I must have done about 300 setups against the hill. That's up the hill. And then he'd have me roll over, and I'm doing push-ups downhill. So it's all on my upper body, and I went into complete fucking collapse where I couldn't get up. I couldn't move. And he told him, all right, pick him up, take him up to his barracks. Maybe he'll learn a lesson out of this. And I went, yes, I did. I didn't tell him that.
Yep. That's one of those.
Fucking learned.
That's one of those. You do that once and then learn to never, ever do it again.
Yep. And that was the only time I ever got smoked in basic. And one of my favorite moments is we were next to another barracks, but the door between our barracks was down because they were doing interior and external construction. And so all we had was this, what do you call it? That thick plastic.
Yeah, basically.
Semi-transparent, hanging. And it was only for a couple of weeks while they were doing repairs. And but we heard the other platoon, they just started. All of a sudden there was this ruckus, woke us all up. And apparently what we understood that was happening was one of the other recruits had a problem with another recruit and climbed up on his top bunk, stood over his face and pissed on him.
Oh.
And the guy punched him in the fucking balls.
I don't blame him.
And then it erupted into not a fight between two guys. Everybody was fighting. Everybody was kung fu fighting. And we could hear this shit.
Just fucking go.
And then you hear yelling from the drill sergeants. And man, oh man. And then they were taken out at 0 dark 30. Out there on that fucking hillside right up behind our barracks where they would do grass drills with us. And they did grass drills at like 1, 2 o'clock in the fucking morning. Everybody, the entire, not platoon, but the platoon. The entire platoon was taken out and smoked at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Craziest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life.
That's what forgiveness sounds like in the military. Lots of screaming and then silence.
Yeah, dead silence. Oh my God. That was so fucking crazy, dude. I shit you not. And I'm like, I rolled over and I said, I'm so glad I never pissed on you. And my little battle buddy, like, what? He didn't get what I was saying to him.
Like, I don't know if the Army did this too, but like, if we were, going between buildings or whatever, or like we were on like kind of going to admin or medical or whatever, and we're coming back, like every now and again you'd get screamed at for something random by a drill instructor who wasn't one of yours. He was just correcting you on something, but like every now and again you just get hey thing, stop. And immediately every recruit in the general vicinity just just goes into like deer in the headlights moment. I'm just like, not you, the one next to you.
Yeah. Now, did your guys, your drill instructors, did they do the knife hand all the time?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Knife hand was the shit.
There are 3 degrees of knife hand. This is correction. This is instruction. This is batshit fucking insanity.
Now, I came up with my own because there was no explanation that I learned. But in the Army, while I saw it, I said, this is the drill sergeant hand. It is aerodynamically designed to instruct, to direct, and to punish.
Pretty much.
That's what I made up. I came up with that one on my own. I'm like, because that's what it's used for.
The most terrified you'll ever get is when the drill instructor doesn't get the full extension of the knife hand. It's just like, come here, thing. It's like,
What I loved about our drill sergeants.
I think they got that from like Macho Man back in the 80s. It's just like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
Ours were all cokeheads, by the way.
Probably.
And I'm serious. They had the pinky thing, their
Oh.
pinky nails. And I thought that was the weirdest thing I'd ever seen. And the only one who didn't have that was Drill Sergeant Schmaltz. He was our vacationing drill sergeant. He was gone. He missed the first 2 weeks of basic. And then suddenly he shows up. He's this little mousy guy. And he had fucking scarring on his throat from dry shaving, out in the field. And you ever seen that fucking pox scars all over the neck? And I knew black guys that got it because they get, if they would get profiles for not having to shave because their hair, because it's coarse and curls, it would curl back into their face. And they get these fucking giant hair blisters. And so if they had that, they were given profiles. So they didn't have to shave.
That actually just went away this year.
I don't know. They need to keep that because that's nasty. That is so nasty. As a combat medic, that's gross.
From what I understand, it's one of those, if you need a shaving profile, you're gone.
Yeah, you don't belong. And
so, I mean,
and I'm okay with that. I get it.
If that's the standard, I understand it. But it's like, but don't keep them in and have them have to go through that.
And it sucks that because they'll lose some good soldiers doing that. But
they will.
I understand it. I understand that because it's like if your religion means that you need to have a beard, I'm sorry, you don't get to serve. Find another branch.
We said the same thing to the Sikhs when they wanted to join, but they have to wear a turban. It's just like, I'm sorry, dude. I know you're probably going to be a great
uniform.
Sikhs fight hard, but
not uniform.
It's like if you're going to be one of us, you have to be one of us in every way.
And by the way, that's not a joke. That's a true story, Gambit.
Yeah, and the Marine Corps is even stricter on it with the Army, where like the Army, they give you some leeway. The Marine Corps, no, it's everybody will be almost exactly the same.
Well, it's just it's like in the Marine Corps, they say it. They didn't say it to us in the Army, but I know they say it in the Marine Corps. And Arlie Ermy nailed it when he said, you are all the same. You are all
equally worthless.
Equally worthless. You are amphibian shit. And that's why they shave your heads, is everybody gets the same thing. Unlike in the movie Stripes, they get their head shaved, except for Bill Murray and Harold Ramis, who have high and tights, like really high. Fuck, man. They had fucking a pompadour on their hair. It's like, yeah, you don't do that in fucking boot.
Well, I mean, once you get to the fleet, you can grow out your hair a little bit, and like they're a little more relaxed, at least in the infantry units. But like in boot camp, if you see a platoon graduating boot camp, it looks like we were assembled in a factory somewhere.
Well, here's another one, Gambit. Right after we go into that room, and there's like a line of fucking barbers in this room. This is in like at Fort Leonard Wood. This is in the reception building.
Yep, it was Paris Island too.
The photography is in there. Your first lecture is in there, where you go into an auditorium. They explain to you shit. That paperwork you signed, where they explain everything you signed to you, and then you go down the hall, and because you've already done everything else. The first night you're there, you go into that building, and they do the contraband room, which is, like I said, it's confessional. You go in alone, and whatever you got. If you got drugs, gone. And I didn't come with anything, so I just did nothing in there. But you could hear people in there, and you could hear the clunking of shit, and you're like, "Oh man, that guy brought some contraband." But the next time you go to that building is for all of that shit, and you go into this room, and there's, I think, 6 barber seats and barbers, and they've got these clippers that have a hose.
Yep.
It goes up and into a central vac system, and it's like sucking in all that hair, so there's not so much on the floor. But man, I had long hair when I went in. And there's none of this, let's get this precision. Get it over there.
They're just They're taking it's like being scalped with an electric razor.
And then you walk away and you walk into this latrine bathroom. And it's got about a 30-foot mirror. And all of us are standing in front of it, doing the same thing. because it feels so fucking weird. And I'm taller than everybody. So I'm standing behind everybody and all these heads in front of me about like right here. And I'm looking and I'm doing this. And then I just suddenly went, "Hey, Gomez." And about half of them got it and fucking started laughing because we all looked like Uncle Fester. We're all pale, dark rings under our eyes already from reception because we were in reception for almost 3 weeks because there was delays with one of the basic groups before us. And so we had to wait till they graduated before we could go in. And holy shit, dude. I swear to God, man, Uncle fucking Fester. And I couldn't help but laugh at that shit. And
the worst part was I was already in a military academy, so I already kept my hair in like the high and tight. That they hate that. I got fucked up for that because like, oh, you thought you were going to come prepared, huh? Well, get prepared for this.
Yeah, it's like you bring more attention on yourself if you thought you had that military haircut. That was, what you would call what's it called? An acceptable in the military. There's a term for it. I forgot it.
With like in rags haircut, yeah.
Yeah, in rags. And and that's what it sounds like, that shit. And I mean, it's like I've had haircuts. Army haircuts are something else, man, because they use like a high power clipper and you can feel the going across your head.
I swear to God, I think they took the first layer of skin off.
It's pretty bad, man. And then they walk you down after you get your haircut. You get walked down to this room, and you're all on benches waiting for your turn. And you go into the room, and they put a Velcro uniform on you that they slide your arms in, and then Velcro it in the back. It's a basic uniform, and put your name tag on, and put your headgear on. And they did
that to us with our dress blues, but we didn't do that until like week 8 because our blues weren't ready yet, but they wanted to take pictures for the platoon yearbook. So they would put like this basically smock that had the shape of your dress blues on you, tighten it around you so it looked good, and then take your picture.
Yeah,
because we didn't have our
pretty
blues.
much what they do. Because they had different sized uniforms. They had to get the largest one for me to be able to wear it. And because I'm just, dude, I'm a fucking giant, okay? And I know I'm a giant.
Yeah,
and I'm there. They tried to kick me out. They said that according to Army standards, I was obese. And I'm like, I don't have but 10%, 13% body fat on me. What are you talking about? And they said, well, according to our charts here, for your BMI, you should weigh 180 pounds. I said, if I weighed 180 pounds, I'd look like I'm dying.
Right? It's just like they tried to say that for the same thing for me. It's just like, you should be like 190 pounds. I'm like, in what world? I mean, because I came in, I was a hockey player in high school and had been in a military school for 2 years. I was in shape. And they were like, no, you're too big. I'm like, and like when they take me, it's like, yeah, no, get out of here. But as soon as
I gotta find it.
But as soon as we got there, one of the first things they issue you is your camis. They don't have name tapes on them yet, but they issue your uniform, and you will change out of your civilian and into that uniform immediately.
I found this one, and I've got some of the guys I hung out with. I don't remember all their names, but I remembered most of them. And open image and new tab. But I can't. I think it's on my other Facebook account. The photo for my Army photo, where I look like Uncle Fester with a hat on.
Yeah,
and it's so fucking bizarre. And I always laugh because I tell people the uniform I have on, not mine. That's a Velcro suit. They Velcro it in the back, and it's not real. And let's see, entire screen, boom, no audio needed. And here we go. This is our platoon photo, Bravo 410. And we were second platoon. That was us. And I don't know, can you find me in the photo? And I will tell you, it's the back row because the tallest guys are on the back row. One of my best friends, the guy with the name over his head, that's Holland. He was one of my best friends in basic.
Found you.
You found me?
Top row, third from the left.
Yep, I can see it.
That's me wearing my headgear correctly. 2 fingers.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy next to me on the right there, he's wearing his correctly. The guy in front of me there, on the left front of me, he's wearing it right. The guy next to him with the thick fucking eyebrows and the closed eyes, I fucking hated that guy. I wanted to beat his ass so many fucking times. And he's like wearing his headgear correctly, but he's got his head cocked back like an idiot.
Right.
Then let's see if I can find it here. Cowboy was one of my best buds, and he wanted to be an airborne plumber. This is in the West was that. And JT, this guy, he's a fuck chop. Look at him, the way he's wearing that fucking uniform. I swear to God, he was like just the worst. But I love the guy. And he's the guy, because I was already a medic when I went into the Army, okay, plus a year of nursing. And JT would come to me all the time in the middle of the night from basic through AIT. Like, yo, man, kiss him, man, kiss him. Like, fuck, man, my arm, I can't feel my arm. I'm like, I've had this conversation with him so many fucking times. I went, you laid on it wrong. You didn't have a stroke. You're not having a stroke. Go to bed. Like, I cannot tell you how many times he fucking did. He also led to a situation once because as a squad leader, I had to go in quickly into the barracks. I got back late. And so I had to haul ass in there to deal with everybody. And I said, JT, please put my gear in the lockup. He was, okay, man. And I go out and I start dealing with everybody in my squad. And then I go back and like the next weekend, I go into lockup. My shit ain't in there. So I'm complaining. And the drill sergeants get pulled into it. And they fucking rip that barracks apart. Pulling down the false ceilings. Going through everybody's shit. Like footlockers spewed out all over the fucking floor. And I mean, it's getting ugly. It's fucking ugly in that barracks. And JT walks in and goes, yo, man, I forgot I put your shit in my locker. And I looked at him. We're standing out there at the end of the barracks, right in front of the junior leader room, which goes into the barracks. And I'm standing there and I'm looking at him. And then I look down to my right at the drill sergeant pulling people's shit out. And then I look back at him and I said, you better keep your fucking mouth shut and not tell anybody.
Yep.
Because he's going to kill you and then he's going to kill me. And so we just left. And
we had a similar incident. Like this was in the fleet, like because we had all our gear laid out like right after we came back from the field. So we had all of our 240s lined up in a row with the A bags right next to them. So we go to put the weapons in the armory. And I'm sitting there because it was our company, and we were training some of the headquarters and service company guys. And we were like, oh, hey, go put the tents and stuff in that container. So then we come back and we go to put the weapon. I go to put my 240 in the armory. There's no A bag. Well, it has the spare barrel and all the other stuff with it. So I'm like, where the hell is it? And, we have to go on lockdown. They start tearing shit apart. And sure enough, one of these morons grabbed my A bag thinking it was a tent and threw it in the container.
God damn, dude. You see, that's a good way to get smoked. I'm going to point out this guy right here I'm mousing over. I didn't put his name on there. I don't remember his real name. I just remember what we called him. His name was Teddy Bear. And he's a former gangbanger. And he was involved in a drive-by shooting and joined the Army. And I turned to everybody. I said, all right, everybody, you heard it. Stay the fuck away from this guy because this is an open base.
Yep.
And everybody's like, why? And I'm like, because it's an open base. If there's somebody that knows where he's at, that wants him hurt, you don't want to get caught in that. Then this guy on the right here, his real name is Freddie Credura.
Uh-oh.
And but he was our facts totem guy. The drill sergeant's assistant. That's what he ended up becoming, and because he was super fucking smart, I really liked him, and he got the nickname Freddy Krueger. And then Gulak here, this guy here, he got recycled, and I don't know whatever happened to him. I love that guy. He could sing just like Bobby Brown, and so he would do the Bobby Brown songs. That's Hedgepin, and his name, I can't read it on the photo, was something close to that. But the drill sergeant gave him that nickname. And that female drill sergeant right there, I like well, technically DS Emerson, because DI is Marine Corps, DS is Army. And she was a fucking bitch. And women drills feel like they have to be meaner than the males in order to have their place in the military. And boy, and I hated the way she would say that. She would say, "Oh, right." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck off with that. That sounds like my mom." Because my mom said all right like that. "All right." No. Drove me nuts as a kid. That's Julio right there. He was a top-notch dude, but he told me day one that he was in what do you call it? High school. The Army, ROTC. He was a ROTC.
Oh, okay.
And he says, "Yeah, I learned to do drill and ceremony as a ROTC." I said, "Okay, I'm just going to tell you now, don't fucking let the drill sergeants know you're a ROTC. Don't do it. Tell them you learned to march in marching band before you fucking tell them that you're junior ROTC."
Yeah, right. It's
serious,
like,
dude.
Do not ever, like, I made that mistake because I was not JROTC. I was ROTC. I did 2 years at Norwich University. And I made the mistake of letting them know that. And they're like, "Oh, really?" It's like, uh-oh.
That's exactly what happens. Well, let's get you to march and do some DNC for us.
Oh,
and
no.
Yeah, you asked for this. You asked for it.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, never admit that to drill instructors. Just telling you now. But anyway, we're going to get out of here, guys. We're almost a half hour over. It's just fun to have you here, Pope, because I like reminiscing with you about being in the military.
Oh, yeah.
Because you and Joe are the only two I really get to hang out, former military. By the way, before we go, though, Mad Mardigan was on Zach's channel the other night. And I was like, and then he saw I was in the chat. And he goes, "Man, yeah, that guy ghosted me." I'm like, "The fuck I ghosted you? You ghosted everybody. You disappear. And like, we don't know where you're at. Don't see you on any shows, no streams." And then all of a sudden you go on here and you say, "I ghosted you?" And he starts laughing because he knows I'm right.
Yeah.
But
he says
messaged
that
me.
stuff to mess with people sometimes.
Yeah. Well, what I said to him, and he said, "I really appreciate that." I said, "Look, man, when you go quiet, I leave you the fuck alone. Because I know you're having physical pain and you're going through shit. And I don't want to, interrupt your fucking healing process. I respect that process. And so I leave you alone. I figure you'll say hi to me when you're ready." I said, 2 years later,
I'm still going to respect it. I'm going to give you shit for it.
And one of the things I said in the chat too, I tagged him. I said, "Also, go look at our last communication. I spoke last.
Oh.
You didn't respond. So you fucking ghosted me, bitch." I fucking love that guy so much. So
he's a good
but
kid.
A lot of people don't know, that he got injured and burned. And so he's always in constant pain. And I know that. And so that's why I'm so cool with him about shit. I'm not going to fucking bug you, dude. If you don't want to talk, I'm not going to keep bugging you out of respect, because I know, I've spent my entire life around combat vets. I learned, let them go through their shit.
Yeah, or like me, like if I'm not on the show or I'm not communicating, it's usually because I'm working.
Well, I just write something gay to you and then you show up.
Dude, that Civil War letter was fucking amazing. It was brilliant.
And you did it live.
Yes. I did it live on the show, writing you that gay letter.
Especially because I know you're from Virginia, so I did it in like the Virginia Southern accent.
Even though I don't have one, but I do have one, because if I'm tired, you will hear me start talking like this. You'll hear a little bit of it, and I'll go, "How y'all doing?
Yep.
How y'all doing?" Um, what I hate about Missouri is they have something akin to that. It's kind of a central southern accent, but then they say a word that I fucking would never say is yins.
Yep.
I said, look, y'all means you all. That's what it literally means.
Yeah.
You say
but I get
yuns,
it.
and I'm like, what the fuck contraction is that? You ones? Like, I mean, nothing sounds more illiterate than a Missourian saying yuns.
Still my favorite greeting was one of the guys I used to work with. Like, he's from like just north of me in West Virginia, and he's just like, he'd be like, "Hey, oh hey, how's your mom and them?" It's like, I mean,
what?
I know what that means, but still, really?
Yeah, in Virginia, they had this weird thing, and I never got used to it. Like, if you have a car and somebody needs a ride, then are you going in town? Yeah. Can you carry me to the store? And it's like, what the fuck? No, I'll give you a ride, but no, I'm not gonna fucking carry you. What the fuck? And the first time my dad got asked that was by Wayne Newton, the singer, Wayne Newton's aunt. She worked with him at I forget the name of the place. He was an engineer, draftsman, and he could, my dad had patents. He like real patents that are still used to this day by Muellers. And my dad was a genius, and he loved to say, because I have a lower IQ than my dad, also lower than my eldest son, like big points. And my dad was such a dick. He goes, well, intelligence skips a generation in our family. And I'm like, oh, fuck you, Dad. I win every debate with you. So yes, you're smarter than me on paper. But what's that?
Hey, guys.
Live in Pittsburgh. Train myself to say y'all instead of yins. I fucking
They
hate
both
that one.
sound weird.
And by the way, hi,
go-
Julie Chow. End of the show. If you want to hear the fun, we do go into the movie, but we also just talk about a bunch of military and history shit. But anyway, Keely, I'm so glad to see you, man. I'm so glad to see you, Sally, and all of you guys. I want to thank
Hold on, Gary.
Storty.
Hold on. Somebody has a birthday tomorrow. I thought we should mention that.
I thought it was today.
No, tomorrow. It's Gambit's birthday.
Yeah, tomorrow.
So happy birthday.
So we better say it now, because you and I won't be here tomorrow. So yeah,
nobody will be here.
By the way, Gambit, I've been trying to make a video for you, and it is really hard, because in the movie Gambit, both versions of it, they don't actually say Gambit in the movie. I'm like, God damn it, because it's a perfect movie. So I have to go find like Gambit the X-Men. I'm going to see if I can find a good Gambit quote from there. But I wanted to get it from the movie Gambit, because I love both those. One's a remake that the Coen brothers remade. Nobody knows of this movie. The Coen brothers remade the classic Michael Caine movie Gambit, and nobody knows what it stars. That English actor who's always got the posh English accent. He's like he plays a Roman legionnaire in one movie in the 2000s. He's in that love story about the girl that her and her diary.
I know who you're talking about. I don't remember his name.
But yeah, he plays the Michael Caine part in the remake. And I saw the reviews for it. It wasn't good from audiences. So I'm like, yeah, I'll probably pass on it. Maybe that's why nobody knows it. But yes, everybody wish Gambit a happy birthday. He's this many years old. You do the math. Anyway, love you guys. I want you all to have a great fucking day. And I want to tell you how much we appreciate Snorty, Emmanuel, Andy Morrow, Gambit, happy birthday, Sally Forth, Read by Nature, Daryl Brewer, John Ostains. I'm sorry, John motherfucking Ostains, Stasis Geek, Regis, Das Wolfen, Mephisto's movie reviews, and Shanatsky, as well as Penny, who already left, and the Whitefield Report. That's a cool name. It sounds like a horror movie about ghosts or poltergeists. And CJ Prime, thanks for being here, guys. And did you mention Keely Chow? Nope, Keely Chow's not in there. So thank you, Keely Chow, for showing up at the end of the show. Rewind to see if you want to see if you enjoy the jokes. And we're going to get the hell out of here. And deeply appreciate all of you. And by the way, the new weekend shows, Anima was kind of bitching at me about our weekend members only show. And I think what we can do on that one is maybe talk a little bit about TV shows that we like. And if that's something you want to do, Anima.
Well, yeah, I was a bit bummed out that we didn't have a single person in the chat on Saturday.
Oh, this last weekend? Yeah, nobody showed up. I'm sure there was a reason, because Penny usually shows up. Oh, look, happy birthday, It Balloon. That's the balloon from It. You should do a clip of Tatum's incomprehensible fibber for Gambit.
Channing Tatum played Gambit in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember what's the fibber thing about.
Oh,
I forget.
He was doing a terrible French accent.
Oh, his Cajun accent, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But anyway, guys, we will see you on Wednesday. The Chief is doing a show tomorrow.
No
show tomorrow. So we will see you on Wednesday. And what's our Wednesday show?
Invisible Man.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to that one.
I'm so sorry, guys. You won't be able to see it.
Let's get out of here.
I don't know. How do you do this? How do we get out of here? I don't know how to end the show.
We're trapped in the computer. Help.
Bye. Help. Somebody get us out of here.
It's like Tron, but better.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bomb, bam.
Y'all come back now. You hear?
Matt Damon.